Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you out there, see how all of you are doing. And I know this is not your normal setup for Starlight, but Starlight is in her kitchen. And so anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, because this is a cooking video instead of my normal videos that I normally make, is welcome to my YouTube channel. And you could find me on YouTube at Starlight, and that's Kathy with a K Dingman. And anyway, if you are new because of a cooking video, I might have got your attention on this recipe because it's yummy. I just want to make sure before I start this video real quick is to see how everybody is doing like I normally do, and see if you were able to get out in nature somewhere. And I apologize, I am far away from you right here, but I had to do this way. The only way I could figure out on how to set this up, I did an arts and crafts video the same way I'm doing right here. So this is the best way I can do this, especially in my kitchen. So anyway, and I apologize. All this that you see here is a lot of arts and crafts. And if you're interested, and especially if you live nearby where I live, I will be, I will be putting these things, on Facebook. I have so much arts and crafts. It's really overtaken my kitchen space. This is not even all of it. I have some over here that you can't see. Lots of marbles and glass gems. But anyway, I don't want to get too carried away. We're here about cooking, and I know you guys can't wait to find out what is Starlight cooking. And anyway, I hope you're being kind to yourself also. Life is too short. And not only to be kind to yourself is to be kind with others. And I hope that you want to be the change that you want to see in the world. And of course, I hope that's a positive change. So anyway, here we go. You can always like this video. I hope you like this video. It's my first cooking video ever. And you could share it with a friend or family or even your pet. Plus, I don't have my dinger bell. Ding, 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 ding. You can ring the notification bell, or at least push the button on the notification bell. That way you don't miss other videos. And if this works out good, if I get a good feedback, I have other recipes that I love to make. I like doing different things as far as cooking goes, where I don't need a recipe book really. So anyway, besides sharing my video, is you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, if you want to follow me, you can, and that is at Instagram 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, I already cleaned my hands. My hands are all clean, so I am, even though I live alone, it's a habit, and it's a good habit that you want to have, so always clean your hands before you start playing with food. And, whether you live by yourself or you're going to cook for, definitely when you're going to cook for other people. So right now, I really can't show you everything, but here, you don't really need this, but I'm doing this because I am making a video. And this is where it's just a bowl of cold water, and I did have a bowl earlier, but then I realized somehow or another a crack got in my bowl, and I had water all over the place. Then I'm like, where is this water? I don't know how that crack happened in my bowl, but here we are. So anyway, these potatoes you're going to want to have, depending on how many people you're going to be cooking for. Starlight always likes to make lots of food for one person. So here I have, because I like leftovers. I live off of leftovers. So here I have, medium-sized potatoes. Some of them are a little bit smaller, like that one. But I have about 7 of them, medium-sized potatoes, or a little small. And then I have one good large-sized white onion. It doesn't have to be white onion. It could be I love onions. Starlight is a big onion fan. So, and I do have garlic. You know, I have a whole head of, I don't even know what a big thing of garlic. So, that, the onion and, it really tastes best. You know, I hope you like onions like Starlight does, but, you know, the onions do add the flavor to the potatoes. These potatoes here, the kind of potatoes that you want for this particular recipe would be the kind that has the really dark, you know, like this is russet potatoes, you know, so with the skin on there, like, you know, more of the skin, the better the taste for this kind of recipe. So that's why I have, you know, these kind of potatoes, because I did try it with you know, when there's not really any skin, and it just wasn't the same. So anyway, you don't have to worry about peeling these potatoes. Yay! And this is why I have this bucket, not a bucket, but a bowl. Normally I use pans, but I want you to see, you know, like in this bowl, see what it is. But really with these, besides, you have to, you know, clean these. You know, either you could some people take a scrub brush, you know, to scrub off the dirt, you know, from being in the ground. And, you know, I just use my hands. I really rub them really hard. You know, I'm not, you know, like, I'm not that picky about my potatoes. You know, like, however you normally prepare your potatoes, like for, like, fried potatoes, home fries, or whatever name that you have for them. And after you get them cleaned, is you want to look and see if there's any rotten spots or anything that you want to cut out. And so I'm going to look at these potatoes and, you know, like, oh, that looks good. See, I see it. You're just going to want to cut any little spot that you don't want to be eaten, you know, just in case it's, you know, like sometimes this is a brand new fresh bag of potatoes. So, so they're going to look pretty good anyway. And if there's any eyeballs on them, you know, it is kind of funny, all these different vegetables with the names like corn having ears. So all these potatoes look great. Now there's two ways that you can actually do your potatoes. Now I have to be honest with you, is because it's the quick way, but maybe it's not the healthiest way, is normally I would actually microwave these. And if you want the quick way and you don't care whether they're microwaved or not, is, you know, you might already know how to microwave your potatoes. And a lot of microwaves actually will have a potato button on there, and, you know, you push it and it will say 1 potato, push it again, 2 potatoes, push it again, 3 potatoes. And so depending on, you know, like how much you want to make, like I want to make a good, you know, I figured, hey, I'm doing this work, I might as well make enough. You know, I don't want to put a whole lot of work into something and only get a little bit. So Starlight's always thinking ahead. So after you get them clean and you get all the spots out, like I only had that one, is if you're going to microwave, then, you know, if it says 3, you know, maybe you only want to make a little bit, you know, like, and it's going to be, you know, like, if you're only going to make a little bit, which I really, really encourage you to, you know, like, make about how much I am, you know, if you like leftovers like I do, is like, you know, it doesn't have to be 7 potatoes, but somewhere around that, you know, like, to make this, you know, the way I'm making it right here. And I always guess. I'm not like a perfectionist, you know, like on all this stuff, so you can guess about how many potatoes. And if you love onions like I do, then you're going to want a lot of onion in it. But if you don't really want onion, you don't have to. And same with the garlic. You don't have to have the garlic, but the garlic's really good for you, and onions are really great for you. So anyway, if you're going to microwave them, so what you're going to want to do before, you know, like ahead of time, so I'll tell you that first before I start doing this, is that you're gonna, like I normally do, I either take a fork and I start poking holes all the way through my potatoes. That way when it microwaves, it can microwave quicker or you can use a knife here, like I have here. This is like a steak knife. Starlight doesn't have the greatest knives here. So that's what you're going to want to do. Sorry about that. I'm just like, everything's a little different. And so then you're going to microwave your potatoes. You know, if you got 3 potatoes, then push the potato button, boom, 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 3 times, and then push start. and then that will microwave your potatoes, and then you're going to want to check on them when they get done, and you're going to want to take a fork or a knife and poke into them and see if they are tender inside or not, because then you know that you really need to make sure they are tender. And if they feel like they need to get a little bit done more, is then you can maybe not push, you know, like the button for 3 potatoes, maybe just like 2 potatoes. You don't want to over microwave your potatoes because, you know, especially if they're small, you might end up having to throw them away. That's happened to me before where I over microwaved them. There was nothing left. They were too over microwaved. So you don't want to over microwave them. So you want to babysit your potatoes, you know, if you need to put them back in the microwave for a little bit longer. So, you know, you just can put them in for a little bit, like maybe a minute, and just check them. Sorry about that. So, and then if they're tender, hey, you're all set. Then, now, we're to this stage here, is with the potatoes, you want to cut them, and I'm always standing up when I cook, so this is going to be really weird for me to be sitting down doing these things, but everybody has their own way of, oh my, you know what? I forgot here it is. Because I had water all over, I had to clean this. And I'm actually on a poster board right here, so this is not my normal setting. So here's my cutting board. You don't want to cut on your counters, you know, because you're going to mark up your countertops. So you always want to make sure you have a nice clean, this is all nice and clean cutting board. And everybody has their own ways of chopping things up, but throughout my whole time, I just find things a little different to do with potatoes or whatever. So you could do your potatoes however you like, and figure about the bite size that you want your potatoes. And so this is how, I don't always do it this way, but because I'm new at doing this, and if you're really, really, really new at doing potatoes, I'm just going to give you, you're going to kind of like do a checkerboard on your potatoes and figure about the size of what size potatoes you want for your home fries. I have noticed like mine are like little. So it all depends on you, is that you're going to want to, now with the microwave potatoes, you don't have to put this in water, but because I don't have my potatoes microwaved, of course that means it's going to take a whole lot longer to fry these babies, because they were not microwaved. So I'm doing it actually the healthier way of frying potatoes up. So you want them like bite size, and I always just do a checkerboard on my potatoes. I kind of, there you go, put them in there. So the reason why I have a bowl of water, in case you're not aware of this, like even if you did mashed potatoes, this is what I would do, is if you do not have a bowl with cold water, and you're cut, you know, say if you got a lot of people coming to your house, and they don't have to be all perfect size, depending on how you want your bite sizes. You know, guys, I've noticed, it's kind of funny, I've noticed where guys they got big size potato bites, you know, where Starlight doesn't do that. So I'm actually doing like a really nice bite-sized potatoes, but you know, hey, it's whatever bite size you want, and just stick them in the cold water. And you don't have to fill the bowl up all the way up, because once you stick the potatoes in there, then the water is going to rise up. So really, you don't want it all the way up to the top. And mine's actually, my bowl of water is on a slant right now. So I definitely don't want to, you know, put too many potatoes in there, because then the water would be making a mess all over. So I just keep doing a checker kind of thing on my potatoes. And like I said, this is a different way I'm doing it. I normally wouldn't do it this way, but just in case you've never cut potatoes before, you just do a checker square all the time. And everybody has their own way. Sometimes people have like a device that you can actually, you can put your potato in there and it will actually chop it all up for you. And they have the same kind of thing like for apples. But this is what I'm going to do for now, is just keep on doing this until this is cut up. And this is going to be a long video. So anyway, I'm going to pause this for now, and I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be right back with the onions to show you how you can do onions. Hello, welcome back. This is Starlight, and I just was making a video on this special recipe. I guess, just to let you know, I didn't really want to tell you, but you clicked on the video for this recipe. It is home fries, with onions and garlic if you want. I really encourage you. Hopefully you like onions as much as I do. Onions really have a good flavor, but you don't have to have the garlic in there. That's optional, really. So besides having potatoes and onions and garlic, these home fries have raisins in them. Raisins in your potatoes? Yeah, so this is a really awesome recipe. I cooked it when my daughter helped me cook here. She was a big help. I said, hey, can you, we can do this together, and it would get done quick. And before I knew it, my daughter was already done doing all the potatoes. It was like, wow. But anyway, I am done with my potatoes. So they're sitting in this cold water still, because you really, if you're going to do it this way, the way I'm doing it right now, you definitely don't want them sitting out, because they will turn brown. And just to give you a kind of a figure, is like if you're going to make this and you don't know how much you want to make, is, if you're having a medium-sized potatoes, kind of figure like 2 potatoes per person, or even, yeah, probably about 2 size medium potatoes, like if you're gonna cook for somebody, maybe you're gonna cook for your family. So, and depending on how much they eat, so 2 medium potatoes is plenty enough for 1 person, or even less than that, or if you just have 1 large potato. So that will kind of help you out. I had 7 altogether, so that would be like 3, like 3 people really, and a little extra in between, because they were different size. I kind of evened it out with that 7th potato. And now that these babies are soaking, and you want to make sure they're, like I'm doing right here, make sure they're all the way covered up with water, because if they're sticking out, they will turn brown, and you don't want that really. So now I have a large onion. This is, I was thinking about having more, but anyway, I got 1 large onion for the 7 potatoes, and those are mediums and small. So now I kind of gonna get the onion ready, and everybody does their onions. If you already know how to do onions, then you can get your onion ready, and the same thing, like you don't want anything too big, and if there's anything that shouldn't be on your onion, you want to make sure you cut that out. And I gotta think, I don't have, you know what, I'm just going to use this bowl here, because I don't want onion. Now, how I get rid of all my stuff here, my vegetables and stuff, if I lived out in the woods, believe me, this would be going out in the woods somewhere. But I don't want to put onions all over here, because they really stink, is anytime I throw stuff away, if there's a little bag of, like a bread wrapper bag, or any kind of bag that when I'm, like my grocery bag, any of my grocery stuff that I buy, like I said, like bread wrapper bags or any bags, I always stick all my my food garbage in there, so then I don't get any like fruit flies, like bananas, fruit flies. Where do they come from? Do they come from the bananas? So anyway, now I have my onion, and I had to cut like a spot out because it was a little funky looking there. So anyway, like I said, everybody does things differently. Normally, I would actually start on the top of your onion, and just do like a checkerboard on the top, like really small slices, pieces. You don't want the same size as your potatoes. So And then there's another easier way for people that are just starting out. A way that I recently thought of is I do the same thing that I did with my potatoes, is kind of like about an inch thick. You know, you're going to do like a slice and just keep your fingers out of the way. And this is easier for people that are just starting out with cutting onions up, and they might love onions but don't know how to really cut them up good. And like I said, everybody has different ways. I know this table is shaking, so this is making it hard for me. I don't want the water to spill. So like this, I'll just show you, like it's not that thick. And like this one here, it's not that thick. So, but if you have an easier way and you already know how to do onions, sorry about that. You know, like I do normally the checkerboard on top, and then I do what I'm doing right here is slice it after, you know, like but that can be actually hard if you've never done onions before, because when you do the checkered style, a lot of times they kind of slip. So there I have like slices, and then I kind of put those two on top, and then we're going to do the checkerboard on top. You want to kind of be careful with the knife, because you're going to just keep on doing like little slices like on the top now, lines going across like about an inch wide. And you're just going to work your way on the top, and you're going to want to hold that onion together so then it doesn't slip away, because you want to hold it. And after you get done going this way, then you're going to want to turn your onion, and then you're going to do about an inch thick here again, depending on how you like your onions. You know, I like to taste my onions. So in these, you don't have to soak in water. And there, that's good. So then you're going to want to move that out of the way. And there's already half the onion already done. I'm going to just put these, I was going to do those on top, but they're slipping and sliding. So, and again, just do the checkerboard on top, go down one way and turn it around, and then this, I find it actually easier, because, you know, it is hard to keep the onion together if you do it the whole way. And it's okay if some pieces are a little bit bigger than others. It's just that you don't want anything too big. So now, after you get the one side done, I didn't think of this ahead of time, but I'm really handy to where everything is here. Hey, I can rinse my hands off here. I am like so funny about touching things, especially when you got onion juice on your hands. So I got some containers right here. Look at that, all nice and handy. So because I don't want to put onions all over on my poster board here, so I'm just gonna put these in here. That way I don't get onion juice all over, and boy, what a smell that would be. Having onion smell. And then, let's see. So I don't know how long this video is going to be all together, because I know when I fry the onions, it's going to, you know, and the potatoes and onions, actually. So, yeah, so this was one big, large onion for 7 potatoes. You could do like the same way I'm doing it now. You don't have to. I'm going to rinse my onion hands off, the onion juice. So this is really good. I have this bowl here. I wasn't thinking of that. Now, because it's only been taking a little bit for that onion to get done now, if you want to do garlic, I love garlic. You want to first take the shell part off, the skin. Whoops, sorry about that. Take all this, and I got this bowl, so I could just put that down in this bowl, because this is going to, I don't put garbage, loose garbage, food garbage at all in my garbage. And to let you know, Starlight is a vegan, so I don't eat a lot of different foods. I don't eat meat or dairy anymore. So that's why this is all, it's potatoes and onions and garlics and raisins. There's no meat in here. Man, I could make, the only problem is I don't eat it anymore. I could have showed you some really awesome omelets. But I don't eat the eggs anymore, because I loved making omelets. Were always fun to make. So I'm going to figure out how many cloves I want for this. And I do have a garlic press, but I'm not going to use this for this recipe because I want bigger chunks of garlic. But if you have a garlic press, and you don't need a lot of garlic, you don't even have to have the garlic, but I just want to, I'm going to do that. I have, I'm going to do 7. I'll just do 7, 7. I like that number anyway. I've been getting that number a lot. Here's a little baby one there. I'll just take that. So after you separate your garlic, then what you're going to want to do is at the very end, you're going to want to cut the little end off, the end piece. And a lot of times once you do that, everything peels right off. You want to take all the skin off all of the garlic cloves. Starlight loves to cook. So this is kind of funny. I really don't eat a lot of breakfast, but this tastes so good. You can eat it anytime, really. It's amazing. I really love this. This will be my 3rd time making this, and I did want to make another recipe like this. So I have to first experiment with that first, and I'm not going to tell you what, because you might beat me to it. There's something else. I do want to make home fries again, but I want to add something different and say, wonder what that would taste like. So Starlight loves to check things out, and I'm not a picky eater. So really, I've never found anything in my life that I didn't like to eat, and now I'm a vegan. And mainly the reason why I've gone vegan is because I've never wanted to eat animals. But when I was a kid, you got to listen to what your mom and dad says, and they're like, you got to eat all that on your plate. And yeah, I didn't want to. But I obeyed my mom. I did not, once I found out we were eating rabbit one night, that was the end of me, really. So, yeah, so this is the reason why I've gone actually vegan, is because of the animals. So anyway, now I have all of it peeled off, so now my garlic is all ready. I don't need any more of that. And, since I got my onions here, I can put the garlic pieces right in there. It doesn't matter. So how I find out how to do these is kind of like what you do with your potatoes, same kind of way. I'll just do it the easy way, is you can do slices just like you did with you're just going to, oops, sorry about that, is do like a slice of the garlic and just do slices, thin little slices, and just put them on the side. You don't need to do anything with it. And you really want to do the wide way. You don't want to do the narrow way, because this would, you want to do the width side and do slices, and just keep on, and you're going to find on any cooking video, everybody does things different. You got to find what works best for you, and that goes with anything in life. Some things work for other people, and other, sometimes you might try something else, and it might be harder for you to do. So you got to find what works for you. And there's no right or wrong when it comes to cooking. There's some people that are perfectionists when it comes to cooking, and I think it's awesome to see kids out there on TV trying to, I love those shows, is seeing a bunch of kids in the kitchen, and they get so many ingredients, and then they got to figure out what they can put together and use their imaginations. And then they have people that are going to try their food, and I love that. I think that's really great. And just like what I did with the potatoes is that you can line these on top of each other, and you're going to do the same thing like what you did with the potatoes. You're just going to, after you get them piled up a little bit, you're going to do like little strips, and you want to hold them so then they don't go anywhere. And these are going to be really small, so I'll just show you real quick how small, after I get done with this, how small. You don't want these too big, because garlic can overpower everything. But see, that's little small. So there's so you're gonna just keep on doing it, and of course you know how garlic is. It really has a smell like onions. So I just kind of hold them together and just cut them, and then put them on the side. And like I said, you don't want them too big for this particular meal. And it only takes a little bit of time. But I definitely come from a family that ate onions and garlic, so and it's funny, I still love garlic, and I am a big onion fan. I will go to Subway and eat like vegetarian subs with the multi-grain roll or whatever, and I go in there, and every single time I go in the Subway, I'm like, could I, like, I watch how many onions they put on my sub, and I'm like, yo, can you put more onions on my sub? Like, it is kind of weird. I used to work at Burger King, and it was the same thing, is that if people didn't like onions, then they didn't really want to put any on your sub. And it's like, you know, even though they were trained a certain way of how much onions to put, like on a Whopper. I used to work at Burger King, that they wouldn't want to put any onions. And it was so funny. I was the Whopper queen. The manager, which passed away, he was a really awesome boss, but he would come through the drive-thru, and I was in the back of the kitchen, and I didn't even know he was through the drive-thru, and he would order a Whopper just to see if I was making them right, and every time I got a pin for making awesome Whoppers, but I don't eat beef anymore, so it's kind of funny. But I did get a pin because I made the Whoppers the way I was taught how to make them, and that's what he wanted. He didn't want people to get cheap on the you know, like, had to have 4 pickles. So, you know, like, people would like, oh, I don't like pickles, so I don't want to really put 4 pickles on there. But so it's kind of funny. Anytime I go in the Subway, you know, sometimes people get really cheap on their stuff, and it's like, hey, this is a veggie sandwich. You know, like, I want to get my money's worth out of this veggie sub here. It's not like I'm putting meat on there. And I did go to a gas station not too long ago. I was traveling, and I was hungry, and I'm like, I'll go get a sub at Subway, and that was the worst one I ever went to, because it was guys that were actually that own that different kind of Subway, and they barely put any lettuce on there. And I noticed how not lettuce, but spinach, I'm sorry, barely put any spinach on there, and I noticed that the food was getting really not the freshest looking in there. And I'm thinking, now I know why they're trying to sell cheap subs and not even put anything on there, and you're going to lose business, you know, if you're not putting food on the sub. You know, they're trying to make money by thinking that if we don't add too much spinach or too much lettuce or not, you know, the whole time making that sub, I'm like, can you add more? You know, I could see the bun. You know, I want to see some spinach on that sub. So, you know, they're ripping themselves. You know, they think they're ripping people off by putting a little bit of stuff on the sub, but really the stuff is going to go bad. Nobody's going to come in and want to buy the subs. So now I'm going to pause real quick on this, and I'm going to get everything set up for frying. So I'm going to drain. So why I'm doing this is, if you're making this right at this time or whatever, you're going to want to drain the potatoes get all the water. I do have a couple of different kind of strainers, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain my potatoes, get them, you know, you don't want really any water. I mean, they're not going to be perfect. You don't have to dry them off with a towel or anything, but you really want to get as much water as you can off of them. So that is what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain my potatoes and get everything set up at the stove, and I will be back. Hello, my name is Starlight, and welcome back. I am all set up, and I know this is going to be odd for me to do this, but because of my setup, and here you see all my arts and crafts behind me now, is I'm at the stove, and I just got done making a video of how to, you know, like get onions ready and how to like get the garlic ready. And now I'm at the stove, so this is my very first time doing a video where my stove is, and the only problem is that you're not going to see me as I am frying stuff on the pan, so I'm going to kind of disappear when I'm doing that, but you're going to hear my voice, and I'm not going to be here for a while. I'm going to have to put the video on, I'm going to have to stop the video because you're not going to want to see me fry the potatoes up the whole entire video. So, and I am sorry, maybe if I can readjust the light a little bit, I'm sorry about the light. This is my first time doing this. Let me see. There you go. I think that's a little bit better. So I had to rethink everything. I had to take my kitchen light out because that was really giving a bad glare here. So right now I do have my pan set. There's nothing in it. And I'm going to just talk you through it. So you're not going to see Starlight with her cooking right here. So right now, you're only going to see the frying pan in front of me. So I'm going to readjust my camera here. And I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, what I'm adding. And so anyway, the first thing, I use olive oil, which I don't know if you're going to, there's also I think it's going to have, yeah, I cannot, I don't seem like I can get the olive oil, but that's what this is olive oil. So I guess, I don't measure this stuff, so I'm assuming, like maybe about 2 tablespoons of oil, and throughout making the potatoes, you might have to add a little bit more, like maybe another tablespoon to it, which olive oil is really great. They have the extra virgin, olive oil, which is better than, I got the classic kind, but this is still better than other kind of oils. But you can, you're always welcome to use whatever cooking oil, like for, like this is going to be for frying. So, I am actually on a vegan diet, so I don't want to eat, like I'm trying to be thoughtful of the kind of oils that I use. So anyway, there's really not a whole lot in this. I do have another bottle here just in case I need more. So, there's like about what I need right in here. So here we go. I'm going to miss you. So anyway, I'm going to bring the camera down so you're not going to see Starlight here. I have my potatoes here. Everything is here. So here we go. I'm going to actually, first I'm going to get my frying pan on. And right now you're just going to have, sorry I disappeared. I do that all the time, but this is my first time doing a cooking video. Abracadabra, where did Starlight go? So anyway, so right now it's on medium. And here we go. I'm going to disappear, so I'll get this adjusted where you can just see the frying pan here. So here it is. And yes, I've never done this, so this is my first time. I'm just going to just pour all this oil in here, get it all gone, because this is it. Starlight does not like wasting anything, Want not, waste not. That's Starlight's thing is, there's people out there starving. I don't waste food. So, hang on, I will be back. I forgot my spatula. So, I did have a special spatula, and it was so flexible, and I had to go out and buy another one. So you're gonna, it is something when you find something that you really like, and it's so hard to find, like to find another one. But you're gonna, with that oil, you're gonna spread it out, and there we go. And you can put that wherever you're gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on the stove because I got so much going on. And so after you get the oil on there, I already drained the potatoes and I let them sit a while, so then a lot of the water is off. So now I'm gonna just put those in the pan, and you really want to be careful with the grease that it doesn't get you, because the water, that's why water, you don't really want water with the grease. And so right now, because I'm going to end up having, I do have extras in here. I was thinking about grabbing my other pan, but I'm going to end up I'm not going to overdo it. So I got like half of the potatoes in this pan. I was going to do my other pan, which I can actually still do that. It takes longer to, either way, it's going to take a long time. So now I got the potatoes in the pan, and I'm thinking about using the other pan. Starlight goes through this stuff. So here's my other pan. I'm going to do that really quick because this pan is just not deep enough. So I'm just going to pour it all in here. And it's not a big deal. And like I said, waste not, want not. Starlight does not want everything counts. So here, I got a different pan now. And I just want to make sure, because I switched pans, is that I have that oil spread out on the bottom. And yeah, and I have it on medium heat. And this is going to take a long time, so Starlight's not going to be here the whole entire time. So now, because I did that, I'm going to add a little bit more oil to this, because I'm going to add the rest of the potatoes. So I'm just going to add like about another tablespoon of oil in here. There. There, that should be good. I'm going to mix that around, get those potatoes, get some oil on those babies. And it is funny, I was planning on going out to the park, but it's one of those days, and I'm not complaining, because that's why I'm actually able to come in here and make videos, because they were going to say that it's going to rain later on, and I already did get outside earlier today. So I'm looking at, so there's enough potatoes in here for a family, depending on the size, but that's how Starlight is just want to get enough. And like I said, because now if you are microwaving, if you microwaved your potatoes and you already got them cut like I do with the diced, what you're gonna, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to soak them in water or anything, is now you're at this point here. Hang on, I'm just gonna, so you can see me now, you don't really have to, now, hang on, I gotta do this a little different. It's my first time in the kitchen doing this stuff. So as you can hear, the stove with the oil on there with the potatoes is if you microwaved your potatoes and you cut them like I already cut mine, then you're gonna want to get the oil in the pan just like I did, and then now you can actually put your microwave cut up potatoes, bite sizes, in your pan, and try to have the potatoes in before the grease heats up, because, like if any water is in there, it's going to jump out and it will land on you and burn your skin, and I don't want you to go through that. So Anyway, I'm just going to make sure. So like I said, this is going to take a long time to do this because when they're not, when the potatoes are not microwaved, it will take a really long time. And if you microwaved your potatoes, you can actually add your onions and garlic. So that's what Starlight is going to do right now, is add her onions and garlic to the potatoes. And there is a lot in here. I can even freeze these. I'm going to probably freeze a half of these because there is a lot. So here we go. I'm going to readjust everything here. Sorry about this. So as you see is there are the potatoes. And now Starlight's going to add the onions and garlic. Just pour that right in there. Don't waste anything. And then you're going to stir up your onions. You might want to, like I have to kind of flip mine around a little bit. So you kind of want to mix all those ingredients together, the potatoes and onions. And so I'm only going to be here for a few minutes on doing this because, you know, for the rest of the time I'm going to be babysitting these babies. And right now I can see I can actually definitely use more oil. Because there is a lot of potatoes and onions in there. So I'm going to put like about 2 more tablespoons. There you go. I guess I do have measuring spoons. There are times I actually do look up vegan recipes online. I actually didn't grab the right spatula because this is my other one. So I grabbed my other spatula because this one's more stiff. It doesn't bend as much as the other one does, so I can actually really get under here. And you might seem this is weird when I do this, but I'm going to add pepper and salt to this. You don't have to. That's an optional thing if you don't want to add. If you just want it this way without the pepper or salt, it's really optional. Just like I said, really the garlic is optional, but really you do want the onions in there because the onions will really flavor up the potatoes. As long as you like onions, but if you don't like onions, then you know you still don't have to, but it's just not going to taste the same way as mine does. So right now we're not worried about any raisins right now until this really gets heated up. And I guess with the pepper and salt, I just going to sprinkle this all over. I don't measure my pepper or salt ever, unless I'm doing like a different kind of recipe. You know, if I'm going by a recipe online, and that might be different. So I like a lot of pepper. Well, because this is going to get stirred up anyway, so it might look a lot. And then this is sea salt, so I just shake, shake, shake. And then I'm going to stir it up again. And like I said, this is going to take a while because these are not microwaved potatoes. Now, if you are microwaving your potatoes, then it is really going to take it's going to be way less time to do microwave potatoes. So there, that is about all I can do with you right now as far as this recipe goes. I'm going to go and do different things in my apartment, and this baby is going to I'm really pleased with how many onions are in here. I did a really great job without overdoing it. So this is going to cook for a while. Hang on, I'm coming back. So here I am. I'm going to let this cook for a while, you know. And I do have a different setup here. Sorry. I love pepper. I had to sneeze. I have pepper must have went up my nose. So anyway, I will be back, and I'm not sure how long this video is going to really be anyway, because I got to put all the pieces together, like because I'm doing this in parts. Sorry, I'm a little off here. So anyway, it might be a while, maybe like a half hour, for this to actually start, like changing color, especially when they're fresh potatoes. When it comes to like fry and microwave potatoes, it is really quick. They fry it really quick. So if you are frying microwave potatoes, what you want to do is get them where they start getting that tan color, and then you're going to stop. Don't cook it any longer after they get tan. So, because this recipe is a lot different than most home fries recipes, because it will have more flavor to it with the skin on there. So if you are frying microwave potatoes, just stop when it gets like tan. Turn the stove off. Don't do any more. So I will be back. Hello, I am back. This is Starlight, and the last that I made a video is when I put the oil in the frying pan and then put the potatoes in there and had the stove on, and then I mixed up the onions and the garlic and mixed it all in the frying pan, and I've been babysitting it now for a while. Hang on. So I'm so new with this in my kitchen. Whoopsie. So now, like I said, I've been babysitting my potatoes, and right now they're a light color, and this is where we want to start right now, is to finish these home fries off, or fried potatoes, whatever name you have for these. And these are fried potatoes or home fries with raisins. And, it is funny how you can combine different things and think, that sounds crazy, but as long as you like raisins and as long as you like potatoes and onions, you'd be surprised on how this tastes. So anyway, I'm just going to do another stir real quick on this, because now we're getting to the point of getting these almost done. And I believe, hang on, just going to take a fork really quick, and I'm going to see if these potatoes they should be tender by now, but they're not, so that's okay. So this is a good time anyway. They're not fully tender. That's why I'm so used to the microwave potatoes, because they would have been, like already tender anyway, because Starlight's not used to doing potatoes without microwaving them, but because of this special video, I decided, hey, I'm just going to do it the fresh potatoes instead of microwaving them. That way then, I can figure out how long it takes to cook these. So I didn't time it, so it might have been like about a half hour, I'm guessing. So now this is where I'm going to add, this is where we, are going to add the raisins. So I already have a cup of raisins already set on the side here, ready to go. And I'm not sure, and it all depends on how much you're making. And like with mine, it's like, it really, like I say 7 potatoes, but like I said, there was some that were small, there was some that were medium, so it really kind of boils down to maybe 5, medium potatoes, by the time you really look at it, and 1 whole onion, a large onion. And Starlight loves, I just say onions, and I'm like, I love onions. So anyway, I'm going to disappear, but I'm still going to be here. You're going to hear me, but I'm going to show you the pan, and I'm going to add those raisins, because now is a good time to add them. And I might have to cover the pan up for a while. I didn't do that before because they were microwaved potatoes. So if you have microwaved potatoes instead of like what I did, the fresh cut potatoes, this is the time that you're going to want to do what I'm doing too anyway, is to add the raisins. And depending on how much potatoes is going to depend on how much raisins. So here we go. I'm going to show you the frying pan again like I did before. So get this all set up. So here's the frying pan. And it's so different for me to do this because I'm so used to seeing myself in the camera. So like I said, I do have a cup of raisins. And these are all freshly bought. So I just recently bought these. So we're just going to pour these babies in. And I'm going to tell you whether we need any more raisins or not. So I'm going to stir these babies up. And I don't know if any of you have ever done like made homemade wine, but when you have raisins in certain recipes, what they end up doing is they end up getting a little bit bigger than the regular size. So that's what's going to happen with the raisins in here. And you know, I'm going to add, because there's a lot of potatoes in here, so I am going to add more raisins. So I'll measure that out. So I am really thinking another cup of raisins. So this will be like 2 cups by looking at it, because you really want to be able to taste these babies in your potatoes as long as you like raisins. I mean, if you don't like raisins, then this is not the dish for you. Or if you don't like potatoes or onion, you know, this will not be the recipe for you. Whoops, I dropped one on the floor. So here's another cup. And here we go. We're just going to dump that baby in there, get them all in there. And no, this is not ants on a log. I love ants on a log. And if you don't know what ants on a log is, it's having celery with peanut butter, and then you put little raisins on top. So yeah, two cups is plenty enough. And it looks like a bunch of bugs in here. And now I'm gonna add more oil. So I'm gonna do like about 3 tablespoons. And because it gets kind of dry after all this cooking and all that stuff. And then you're going to want to mix that oil around. And so there's that. And I don't really want to cover the top, so because I didn't do that before. And so I'm just going to let this cook again. Because, you know, I'm thinking about covering it, and, you know, I never did that before, and I'm thinking if I cover the pan up, then those raisins are going to puff right up. I got to think about that, because it will get the potatoes done quicker. It's just that you do want that burnt look on the potatoes, and that's the whole goal on here, is to have those potatoes look like they're kind of burnt looking, because that's what's going to give it really good flavor. And I'm just going to add a little bit more oil. I'm sorry, I have to do this, is that because now when I add these raisins in here, so and leave it at medium heat. You don't want to turn it up any, you know, you don't want to turn it up any higher. So mine, I'm just gonna, yeah, there's the medium heat, and I'm gonna come back to you. Here we go. So let's see. Sorry about this, everyone. It is Starlight's really new. This is, like I said, my first time doing a video in my kitchen for cooking. And I have tried so many times trying to get the a setup here. I have to have the laptop right in front of me, otherwise, you know, I just don't have enough space, you know, in here to do this. So we're going to let this cook for a while, and I'm thinking maybe another half hour. So let's see, it's 3:40. I did get the 3:33 just a few minutes ago. So right now it's about 3:45. And I'm going to just let this cook. I really don't want to cover it up because things change, you know, when you put a cover on top of things, you know, like where I want it to actually get color, you know, like I really want it to get a nice suntan here. So that's what our goal is here, is to heat those raisins up now. You know, I didn't want to do that earlier. So we're going to let these cook for like a half hour, and I will be back. And I know this video will get connected to the other videos. So anyway, this is Starlight. I will be back. Love and light. Hello, this is Starlight. I am back. It didn't take too long, even though the potatoes, you know, like it's only been like about 10, 15 minutes. And I've been doing really good babysitting, and I'm just going to give them a nice good stir. And yeah, so those potatoes that were not cooked all the way, I'm glad I didn't cover. When you do put the raisins, you definitely want to make sure you're doing a good job at babysitting, because you do not want them to get burnt, because it will ruin your whole dish, you know. So that is definitely a tip. And then I'm gonna, I'll just stir it up a little, and then I'm gonna just show you real quick what it looks like when it's done. And it looks pretty much like it looked like a few minutes ago with all the raisins in here. And let's see, Starlight is gonna take some potatoes and some raisins here. And hang on, I gotta wait because it's gonna be quite hot. So we're gonna give that blow on some of this here. So don't mind me. I'm gonna forgive me. Thank you, universe, for all this yummy food. I gotta let it cool down. So I always thank the universe for all the, I mean, there's times I'm like stuffing it in my mouth, and I'm like, thank you, universe. So I'm always very grateful for all the food I have. So here we go. We're gonna see how this tastes. Man, it was really hot. I was really having a hard time with that, but it tastes so good with those the raisins in there. And anyway, I wish I had some water right here. Thank you so much for coming by, and believe me, that was really hot, but that came out really good. I know, like it tastes different because I didn't microwave the potatoes, because that does kind of do something different with the skin. So that's the only the difference that I noticed. Is it's really best if you could find any potatoes that really has that thick skin, because the thicker the skin, it really does. It tastes even it tastes even better. I always have this habit of saying more better. More butter. It sounds like butter. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this recipe, and it came out really good. I did not burn it. And you really have to, when you do make this, is really babysit those raisins, because you don't want burnt raisins, because it don't take long when that's why I stuck those in at the very, like the last bit, is once they're really close to being tender, then that's when you want to stick those raisins in. Whoops, sorry. And so anyway, I really hope you enjoy this recipe. And like I said, I do have another home fried potato recipe, and I'm not going to tell you the secret ingredients. And it's not going to be raisins, because we just got done doing that. But I thought of something else, and my taste buds are like, I can't wait. And I do want to make that right away, but I have a lot of potatoes here to eat, and I'm going to definitely freeze half of these, I hope they freeze good. So, because this is too much right here. This is good for a family. Starlight does this all the time. I always cook more than I should, but, I freeze a lot of my stuff. Besides, I am not a picky person. I can eat the same meal for so many nights, So anyway, they're great for leftovers, like to heat them up. And I do use the microwave. I know it's probably not the greatest thing to do, but if you want to not use the microwave, you could just put them right back in your frying pan, put some oil in there. Then you're going to want to cover it up with a lid. That way it will heat up really quick with that lid on top, and boom, there's your leftovers, Please do not waste your food. There are people that are homeless. I help the homeless people out in my area, you know, um, and I'm not going to say to feed it to your dog because not all this kind of food is good for your dog or they'll eat it though. They're like, yeah, I know it's not good. Just like kind of like people, they eat stuff and they know, oh, I know it's not good. And speaking of food, I'm not going to be long on this, but have you ever noticed, when I just was talking to my therapist about this, how backwards and upside down this world is where's all the vegetables and fruit on commercials, without all the sugar and all the stuff that they add with it, a lot of times it's always fattening food that they're putting on commercials. I see so many commercials with greasy hamburgers with, and I'm probably making some of you hungry. Ooh, greasy hamburger, I'll take one of those with cheese dripping over the side, a lot of fast food stuff. But, like where are the vegetables and it is so weird how everything is so backwards. And the cheaper stuff, is the stuff that's not really good for you, where the healthier stuff is, costs more money. So it is really a backwards, inside out, upside down world. So anyway, like I said, I am a vegan. I do not eat that stuff anymore, but Starlight did, and so anyway, I do love you, and you can give this video a thumbs up. You could share it with your friend, your family, your pet, your dog, your cat, your bird, tweet, tweet, or like a parrot. They're awesome pets. They do make a mess though. I used to have one. It wasn't mine, but somebody passed away, and it's like, well, somebody had to take care of that baby. So her name was Cal. She was a sweetheart. She said all kinds of funky stuff. I would like to make a video about Cal and all the stuff that she said. So anyway, besides sharing with your friends and family and pets, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will, now I have a clue of how to set this all up, and I'm sorry for the lighting, but if I stick that light, where is it? If I put that light on, it's just blur, it just doesn't work. But I will have other healthy recipes now that I can set this all up in my kitchen. And I'll have to do it the way I did it here, where you don't see my face when I'm cooking on the stove. But anyway, besides subscribing to my YouTube channel, you can also leave a message down below this video. Tell me, how did you like your recipe? And I hope I did good explaining everything. Like I said, this is my first time, so I was trying to help people that might microwave their potatoes, and of course, if you're using less potatoes, you don't want to add that much raisins. You don't want the raisins to overpower the potatoes, so you want a medium amount of raisins, not to overdo it. And it worked out great with 2 cups with really 5 medium potatoes, even though I had 7 altogether. And besides leaving a message down below, you can find me or get in touch with me at Instagram, and that's 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So I really do. I really had a fun time. I was like, Starlight does this. I don't know if this is good or not, but Starlight is a multitasker here. I was setting my stuff up for arts and crafts to sell them, and then I'd come back, and cook a little bit, and then go back out there and set everything up because I'm going to be putting stuff on Facebook to sell. I have some arts and crafts that I need to make some space. And, money is always, money is always good to have, you know. It's not I can't say I love money, but I enjoy it, and I know you guys do too, and girls, So anyway, I will be back with other videos. I do have videos also that I will be putting out. I already have them made. I've had them made for a long time. I just got to get them out there, and it just, I wanted separate channels for these videos, but then, a friend of mine says not to do that. It's not wise to do that. It will make things a mess. So I do have a art video, an arts and crafts, a very simple, kids can do this. Anybody could do this. Arts and crafts is a really cheap, very cheap arts and crafts thing. It's a decoration, some kind of decoration that you can put in your house, and it doesn't cost a lot, and they're fun to make. So I do have a video on that, and I also have a video on how to clean the inside and outside of your windows, because I was a cleaner. So and that's about a 50-minute video for those. So anyway, at least for the window cleaning. And that's 2 videos. 2 different things I had to do in there. Doing window shades too, to teach you how to clean window shades. Sometimes it's just worth going out and buying them, though. Really, the time that it takes to actually clean them up, really, if you went out and bought it and re-put one up, it would be quicker and cheaper if you hired somebody. So anyway, I do love all of you. This is Starlight. Love and light.